Hey! Happy New Year!
Okay, so we're maybe a bit late with our New Year greetings, but better late than never. And after a bit of a break, we're back in the workshop battling the winter blues. Trying to push ahead with the restoration part of this big project and get this poor old Bedford bolted back together again. The freezing cold winter is proving to be a real challenge this year though.
I'm gonna need a lot of tea.
Or maybe we're just running low on stamina. Whatever it is, we're just working our way through what we can. A bit of powder coating here, a bit of zinc plating there. And with the Bedford still in bits, summer feels a long way off, but we are hoping for better days ahead.
No way, I'm not doing that.
Maybe. We are Lisa and Tim.
Watch this space.
This was our 1975 Bedford truck, and one day, maybe, this will be the off-grid home on wheels we've all been dreaming of.
2023 seems so in the future, doesn't it? Anyway, first video of 2023. It is currently today...
Blue Monday. Do you feel blue?
The whole winter makes me feel blue. God, it is so cold. Ooh. Oh, it is cold. Ooh.
We have been doing stuff, but we did also take quite a bit of time off over Christmas. I took quite a bit of time off as well because it was so ridiculously cold. Tim did carry on for a while before it got the better of him and he got some really spectacular chilblains as well. But work has been going on all along, and we have, or Tim did film quite a bit before Christmas, so we'll go back and we'll show you a little bit of what's going on in the past, and then we'll bring you back up to date in a few minutes. Yeah? We'll go and put the kettle on, we'll have a cup of tea, and then we'll meet you back here in about 5 minutes, alright?
See you in a minute.
Enjoy.
Alright, how you doing? Oh, it's another Monday morning, and I don't know what I'm going to be doing this week because the weather has changed. It is cold! I very nearly got all the stuff I needed painted. Nearly. There's a few bits left over. In fact, I was kind of getting through it, and there was a bunch of things that I got all the primer on. I sandblasted them all, cleaned them up, primered them, and then all of a sudden the temperature dropped, and that's it, we can't paint anymore. I think there's a drive shaft over there somewhere in primer, there's a steering rod over there, there's a bit of the suspension of the leaf springs just over here, there's 4 door hinges hanging up there, and there's some various other bits and pieces around. At the moment I'm digging out all the bits for powder coating, so at least I'll be able to put the oven on and electrocute myself. That will stay warm. We've got quite a lot of bits that need powder coating, and I guess most of them will be cleaned up, sandblasted, and then coated, and well, we just got to find things to do. There's lots of plating still. There's always plenty to do around here, but God, it is so cold. I think it's about 4 degrees C in here this morning, and my only heat source at the moment is a cup of tea. I'm going to need a lot of tea. Ooh. Did I say it's cold? Yeah, it's cold. Powder coating. We got a lot of bits. There's a whole load of pieces hanging up in there already. But this is the piles I've been sorting out. We have a pile here of gloss black. Pile here of some matte black. About 8 of those pieces are in the oven at the moment. We got loads of bits over here. So we're all going to be, I don't know, probably a silver. Oh, there's pieces everywhere, and that's not all of them. That's just the bits so far I've sorted out, ready to get done. There's pieces over there, there's bits over there, and there's the big drums. There's a lot of parts to be powder coated. And yeah, I'm going to start with them now. See if all this stuff works. It's been a long time since we've done any. So, it's my first Tesco, really. Tesco? My first Sainsbury's to see if it works.
Using the oven to warm things up a little is one of the reasons we do all of our powder coating in January. Remember when we spent Christmas 2021 building our own gun? Well, fortunately, 1 year later, it all still works. I'll pop a link to that video up in the corner there. It's worth a watch just to see Tim getting repeatedly shocked by his own crazy invention. Back to this year though, and it all looks as good as we remembered from last time.
Oh, they look nice. We've never used this before. It's a matte black, and I was unsure, so I did these first few bits just to check it out. But oh, it looks really good. It's kind of more of a satin, I suppose. It's very difficult to see in here with the lighting, but oh, it looks really good. It's going to look so good against the gloss in places. Many of the parts we're going to do are going to be gloss black. I'm just going to match in with the chassis, especially some of the bits that went on the cross members and backing plates will look really good in gloss. But yeah, I'm liking that. That's really cool. Right, 3 more to do in the oven. They're getting their primer coat. So we're still going with the putting a zinc primer on all the parts we can. Just added protection, and for steel parts it's probably a good idea if you can. So that's what we're doing. It takes a little bit extra time. So you put that on. Don't fully cure it, we just put it in for about 5 minutes. It gets soft and it's sort of, then you can go on with the coat over the top of it. But yeah, that is, if they come out anything like that, I'm going to be so happy. I mean, we've got another 40-50 parts to do, but well, that's 4 down. Only 46 left to do. Brilliant. Well, it's still cold, and anyone who remembers December of 2022 will know what I'm talking about. It's been freezing in here. Oh, it's been so cold, I have to admit I have taken a few days off, and it is coming up to Christmas, so you know, did some other things. But I just haven't been filming anything. It's just pressing fiddly buttons with gloves on and stuff. It's been too cold, and no sandblasting. I think it's my first week of not sandblasting for a long time. But I've been working on the chassis, and it's quite good because it gives you an opportunity to slow down and start doing some things that you've left aside, getting ready for things that you have to order and sort of writing them all down. So I've been doing that, and I have been bolting things back on the chassis, and it is quite good fun because it looks amazing. So yeah, all those shiny bolts and powder coated parts and bits and pieces I've been putting back on and going through my old drawings and photos. So this is the point where you're really grateful for the fact you made a few little notes down and took some photographs first, because my memory is terrible. I can't remember where anything goes. Yeah, referring to those, bolting the bits back on. And yeah, it's not the most productive week or two, but I have got some stuff done. Yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment really. I'll show you a couple of little things, show you the chassis, which looks pretty cool. Yeah, it's just been a slow time really. It's really hard working in sub-zero temperatures. Chilblains on my fingers I've had, and yeah, not that fun. But we carry on.
I know we keep saying it, but it really is the most difficult time of year for us right now. We try to busy ourselves as best we can, and work does indeed get done, but it tends to be all the fiddly stuff which you can just tinker away at, sometimes literally just the nuts and bolts. But slowly, Tim has started to rebuild the chassis, reattaching the pieces as they get finished, like the fabulous gold shock absorbers, and already there is the faintest promise of what is soon to follow. There has also been some offstage ordering and sourcing of parts, like a new universal joint for one of the drive shafts which needed replacing. Some of these seemingly tiny jobs all take time, and now is obviously the time to tackle them, before spring and summer. Pausing only for the occasional cup of tea, it surely won't be long before the days get longer and it starts to warm up again.
Well, it's the beginning of 2023, back in the workshop again. Been in there for a few days now, and I've been working on lots of bits and pieces. I'm still putting off sandblasting for a little while, so my piles of bits are getting bigger and bigger, and that's what I've been doing really, going through all the different parts, breaking them down, sorting out bits for plating on them, and yeah, just going through that. What I currently have in front of me is the steering box. Big thank you to Nick Turley. Thanks for delivering a little bit of equipment, allowing me to remove the steering arm off the box. Yeah, and with everything else, what I'm just doing is stripping it all down, taking all the bolts out of it. We're plating the bolts, plating the pin, the cross rod here that the pedals go on, taking it apart and checking out it's all okay. It feels great. There's no play in it that I can feel, but repacking all the old grease and things like that, giving it a new lease of life so it's ready to go, and a lick of paint at the same time. So yeah, that's pretty much the same with every part that we're going through. The pile of bits to do this to is getting a lot smaller. My list of things to replace and order is getting quite a bit bigger, so I am finding broken parts and bits that are a little bit wrong. Yeah, I'm just trying to go through them, keep it moving, and yeah, eventually we'll finish. So yeah, a lot of these bits and pieces, I wasn't really looking forward to a lot of this, but it'll be okay. First job for this one now, we've got this arm off though. Start cleaning it, scraping off all the old crap off it, I think. Have a good look at it, start taking it apart. That's what I'm doing this morning, as soon as I've had a cup of tea. First things first. Beautiful sound of a kettle boiling. Oh, one other thing as well. This is a standard steering box. So the steering column goes directly onto this bit here. This turns, which moves this arm. That pushes the steering round. It is not power steering, and it's one of the few things on the truck that we were hoping that we would be able to do something about to upgrade it into power steering. As it stands at the moment, with most of the truck, what we're just doing is like restoring, rebuilding, putting it back together again. It's a lot quicker than getting into all the bits and pieces. There are a couple of ways to turn this into power steering. None of them are simple and none of them are cheap. So we're going to get it up and running first. And yeah, basically, well, there's a couple of ways of doing it, but in one of them anyway, we would still need to use the original steering box. And you have a ram which is hydraulically operated. So yeah, we're going to look at that when I've sorted all this stuff out and we got a truck, and then we'll look at a couple of things. It's all pretty much stripped down now. Well, most of it. There's one little bit left in there. Taking all this apart, as you can see, not a lot left. And scraped out all the grease from the insides. So I'm left with a whole load of bits, and yeah, I'm just going to send them off to get done by me somewhere else. A big old arm off it, that'll probably get powder coated. We'll replace this. These are available. It's the bit that where the steering column joins on, and you can get these things. So I'll probably do that. Probably powder coat that. and lots of bits and pieces which will all get plated. This is the rod that goes through the bottom of it, which the pedals, the brake pedal and the clutch pedal are attached to. That'll go in and get plated. These bits will just get cleaned up. I'll probably just get a bit of our old stale petrol and clean off all the grease off these parts. Not sure with these bits, they're a bit complicated to start, well, even sandblasting could be a bit of a problem, because I don't really want to fill them up with loads of sand. And there is still a couple of old seals in them which look pretty good, so I don't really know if I want to be replacing them, so I've got to be careful not to mess this stuff up. And that means in powder coating the temperatures are like 200 degrees and you can start messing a few things up. So I might paint them. You start off with one chunk or something and you end up with, I don't know, quite a lot of bits. It's a cold one today. And I'm collecting, with every piece I take apart, it ends up in 30 pieces. There's a lot of bits and pieces lying around here, and I'm really starting having to label things up because I'm quickly losing track of stuff. You know, bags of bolts, and yep. But that's what I'm going to be doing now. Probably get the petrol out, clean these off, make up some new gasket. Yep, lovely job. Gotta keep that wind out.
So we are hopefully back. Hopefully we are gonna get back into full swing probably the next week or two.
No, like the next hour or two, because I need some plating doing. I'm desperate for some bolts.
There's a lot of moving parts right now. There's a lot of stuff happening there, there's a lot of stuff happening over there, there's a lot of stuff behind you down there, there's some stuff in there in the tent. And it's all just stuff that gets done when
They're slowly moving
you can.
parts.
Yeah, every morning Tim comes in and says, oh, I've got to do some sandblasting today. And every evening he comes home and goes, I didn't do any sandblasting today.
Well, we need to be able to open the doors, and the wind is blowing a lot and it's quite rainy.
Once again, I am back doing loads of zinc plating, which I'm not going to film loads of for this video because, you know, let's face it, you've seen it all before. But I was doing some yesterday, first time in a while, and when I first did it, it came out fine, and then I put the gold passivate onto it to make it go gold, and then when I dried it with the hairdryer, it went bright blue. It was really weird. That's never happened before. I mean, we've had some really weird results with it, but it's never gone bright blue. So I was like, oh no, all my plating's gone blue, what am I going to do? And we thought maybe the really super cold weather that we'd had, because literally everything was frozen in here, had damaged the chemical, you know, integrity of the passivate. Anyway, we hung the bolts up to dry, and this morning we came in and they were all gold. So they actually air dried fine overnight, so it was really, really strange. So I'm just going to have another go at it, because we did contemplate renewing the passivate and starting again with a new batch, but we thought, well, maybe it's okay. So I'm just going to do it now and just show you what it looks like. So I've got some bits. This has just had the zinc plating done, and I'm just going to give it a couple of seconds in the acid. This seems to be the key thing as well. If you don't put it in the acid before putting the gold passivate on, it just goes black, so it's really kind of weird. Just talk amongst yourselves. Right, so that's had 25 seconds. I'm now rinsing it off, and I can see it looks a little bit odd.
try things out. We're going to change the gold passivate. We actually originally got 10 litres of this, and we were a bit unsure what we were doing at the time. I don't think we had enough demineralised water to mix it with, so I only mixed up half of it, which could be a good thing now. So we've actually only been using 5 litres. So I have the other half of it, which I'll just pour in, and we'll mix in mix up to 5 litres. I'm guessing the last time when I measured it out I was quite good about measuring 100 millilitres, but I suppose I could still, couldn't I? Yeah, that's about right. So yeah, the gold one's in 2 parts.
Darkness nearly drowned me, and the sunlight low, don't it burn my eye?
5 litres of new gold passivate. We shall see if that cures all of our woes.
So we changed the passivate, as you've seen, and I've plated up another little batch of nuts and bolts and strange little metal things, and now I'm going to see if it comes out any better. So just give it a quick dunk in the acid, and we're going to change the acid as well because it's been a little bit compromised with having a load of copper in it from cleaning the copper wires. So we're going to have everything clean again. Once again, just chat amongst yourselves. Now, I can see straight away that although this still looks a little jaunty, and I think it might be because I might have been a little bit generous, shall we say, with the brightness I put in the zinc plating. So we've got a slight rainbowing effect here. But I think that this does actually look better. So I'm just going to give it a quick... So I think the thing we've learnt today is that our chemicals don't like being frozen, which means that our chemicals have something very much in common with me. That looks really good. Result.
Well, my cup is nearly empty. I got such a long, long way to go.
So after we changed the gold passivate, something else happened. We thought we would also change the acid pickle that we put the stuff into. First of all, it goes into it before it gets plated, but it also has, like, after I've rinsed it off, which I'm doing now in water after it's plated, we then pop it back into the acid for literally like 3 seconds before putting it in the gold. And gradually over time we realised that the acid had gotten more and more polluted because the wires that these are on are copper wires to conduct the electricity and everything. But every time you put it in the acid, it actually takes some of the copper off the wires and it goes into the acid. What we realised was the acid had gotten completely polluted with copper, and when we were putting these into it, they were actually taking on a pinky tinge from the copper. But we weren't thinking it was really a problem, but we thought, oh, while we're at it, we'll just change it, you know, we'll make up a fresh lot of the acid, nice clean acid. And I literally, just with this, just after I finished like swapping it, we finished changing the passivate and everything, I thought, yeah, I'll just do another one of these. So I cleaned it off in the water, pop it into the acid, quick rinse off, back into the gold again for about 25-30 seconds. Right, give that a rinse off, and I was like, what? This is literally the best thing I've ever seen. Check this out.
It better be good now
Check
after all
this
that.
out.
It better be good.
So the lesson is, don't mess up your acid pickle.
That is like amazing. We're putting these bits back together. We've got freshly plated parts, powder coated rods. Are really good.
Yeah.
And some of these were looking in a right old
Yeah.
sad state.
Yeah, I'm really pleased with how the zinc plating has turned out, because it started off really ropey this week and we just couldn't figure out why to start with, and it was kind of really disheartening because you spend so much time, so much effort, like just doing these hundreds and hundreds of pieces. If it isn't going very well, you just get very demotivated very quickly. So I think what we learned this week was keeping your chemicals really clean and in tip-top condition is absolutely essential, and the results have been just brilliant, the best we've had, so really pleased.
That's good. Yeah, and hopefully we can get on to do some more playing. We've got some leaf springs to do, got lots more work to do. We're finding it very difficult at the moment to kind of put stuff into the film that makes it sort of coherent and makes any sense.
As you might have noticed.
Yeah, and as I've said before, I found it so difficult actually filming anything. It's been so cold and dark in here that I've set up to do stuff with the camera and it's just been too dark. Yeah, we have enough lights to work with, but not to film sometimes.
Not to film, it is very challenging. It is proper January blues, as we all know. January is like 500 years long every year. So we're just knuckling down, getting on with what we can, and really, really looking forward to the spring.
Yeah, I think we can get the next couple of months out of the way. We're getting on with this. The work is going pretty good. Where we can, we've always got something to do. And sometimes by not getting on with powder coating, sandblasting and powder coating, it means I have to work on the things I've been putting off. So in a way, it's
the
quite
less
good.
sexy things.
Yeah, the like sourcing parts, fixing bits that are broken. So it's all positive work, and it's all going towards the overall. And yeah, we're getting there. It's just that maybe the next couple of months, as far as trying to film stuff, is very difficult. We're trying to think creatively out of the box to make something interesting. But
but we will get back. Well, yeah. I keep saying we'll get back on track. As you know, we've got like quite a lot going on in our personal life with our house move. We have until the end of March now. I'm not sure if I've said that before. And we do have
some ideas. We should be all right. I mean, it's a struggle and it's hard, but we're hoping we've got something in the pipeline that's going to work out for us.
Yeah.
Keep tuned to find out.
We will be
what will happen.
what we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
Very soon. Can I just say? I'm just going to drop in a little clue. Hang on.
No way. I'm not doing that.
Watch this space. More will be revealed.
Yeah.
Probably in our next video.
Yeah, so obviously that slows us up with things, and you're doing all sorts of work and, got to bring money in. So we're doing what we can. Yeah. And life gets in the way sometimes. But yeah, it's all going good.
I just want to thank a couple of people as well before we go. So first of all, I just want to thank Vaughan for emailing and for dropping in just before Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was lovely to see you. Also, just want to say a thank you to John from Belgium, who sent us an email a little while ago now. Sorry I haven't replied to you properly. And that was just a little bit of helpful advice about when we reattach the leaf springs. But we will put that into a video when we get back to doing the leaf springs. But just want to say thanks loads for your email, that was brilliant. Also want to say thank you to Ian from the Bedford Enthusiast Club for emailing and getting in touch and asking us to join the club, which we absolutely will do. So thanks for that, Ian. And most of all, just want to say a massive thank you to our latest patron, which is Chris McDonald.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris, for becoming our latest patron. We massively appreciate your support, as always, and that's just made our day.
We get all the way out to America. And can I thank Nick Turney as well? He's always popping around and he's pretty good at listening to what I'm talking about and coming up with advice and help us out on a few things. Thanks, Nick.
Nick, thank you so much. You will be in one of our videos one of these days soon. Nick has promised to take us out sailing in the summer, so I'm just letting everybody know. Just so
no turning back now.
Yeah, he has to stand by that. So really looking forward to that. And thanks to everyone else for watching, liking, commenting,
all the comments, thank
everything.
you. Yeah.
As always, we appreciate it all massively.
Yeah, thank you very much to everyone. And we'll see you back here again soon. Hopefully, we'll try and work out something for the next video. It'll keep you up to date with what we're doing at least.
Yeah, we'll be back in a couple of weeks, no doubt.
I'm really looking forward to some of the stuff we're going to be doing in the future of it as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be epic.
Of course.
So yeah, until next time. See you later.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Epic.